back to another episode. You have your host,
Sabrina
and Harley, and we're back with another episode today. We're having some technical difficulties with our episode for today, so hopefully he can get in. Let's just give it some time. If anyone comes in and wants to ask some questions, go for it until he gets in. But yeah, Sabrina, how are you?
Sabrina's a little under the weather. I'm not really feeling the best.
Oh goodness.
I think it's allergies. Honestly, this change of weather just drives me insane.
Oh my god.
I cannot.
And your host, your guest for today is Mr. RUDA!
Let's go. I gotta get this out eventually.
Got in.
It happened.
It's okay.
You know what?
I look like Mr. RUDA with hair.
Yeah, but at least you got the glasses on, the same ones, ready to go for this. Let's go. Let's make this happen. That's the way to do it. Yes.
So how are you, Mr. RUDA?
I am fantastic. Evening's nice. I got the night off. I'm here with my boys, my two dogs. Life is good.
That's amazing. It's
Yep.
cold. Really
It
cold.
is very chilly. I took them for a walk outside, and this is the time they want to spend more time outside than I do.
It's beautiful out. I don't know what you're talking about. I love this weather. I get cold very easily, but I love this weather.
It's all right. It's good. You wear a hoodie. You snuggle up under some blankets. Snuggle up.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah. So I guess we'll hop right into the questions. I guess I'll start.
Yes, please.
So wait, how long has this show been going on for now? What number guest am I? How long you guys been doing this for?
You're third. We had Trevor Kage, and then we had Rembrandt last week. So you are third. You were second on my list. I was like, I need to have Mr. RUDA on this podcast.
She's like,
Second, third. I wasn't first on anyone's list. This call should be
honestly
right now. Damn. I thought this was an inaugural event. I thought this was the very first call.
wow, Sabrina.
She told me it was. Now she's busted on camera.
Yeah, and this is recorded. This is, girl, you are busted.
I got to go.
We're live. It's a good thing you guys both have the shirts on. We'll call it a pass. I'll take it.
Okay, so before we even get into this, let me just say I'm going to get so much flack from Trevor and Rembrandt because I did not wear any of their merch for any of the other podcasts. And you're the first podcast. And I was like, I got to wear my Mr. RUDA shirt.
Can't relate.
Yeah, perfect.
I got the shirt. I got the hat. I got the glasses. That's what you call a perfect fan.
Now you just got to start cheering for me and stop booing me. And
I cheer. Hardcore. I'll cheer.
She made me wear character ones.
That's what I was thinking about earlier. Oh my god, it was I was thinking about the last episode we had with Rembrandt, and I was thinking the last PPW show, I was booing who was it? I think it was SPF, and I think it was Joey. He looked at me like, "Are you booing me?" I'm like, "No, you're good." Meanwhile, Sabrina's like, "Yes, RUDA."
We're flipping the crowd.
I wasn't rooting for any, but I wasn't rooting for championship material. I wasn't rooting for Johnny Moran and Tom Mitchell. I was rooting for Mr. RUDA.
Yeah.
I like it. I love it. That's what I want to hear.
So, Harley, do you want to explain to these guests how you got to meet Mr. RUDA?
Okay. I'm pretty sure it was the return show. I may be wrong. I know it was summer, and it was hot as hell. And Mr. RUDA comes out with T-shirts, is throwing them or something along those lines. And all I remember is he gave me one. I'm like, oh my god, I love him. I'm going to cheer for him. Then he comes out and then he becomes a bad guy. I'm like, oh, this is not good. And I remember during his first match, whoever he was with, I was cheering so loud for him. And then he came over and gave me his glasses. I'm like, yep, he's the man. And then that's how I met RUDA.
I'm glad an impression.
Yeah. So RUDA, how did you meet Mr. RUDA?
I think one of the first shows that I've been to, I think it was either April or May, and he was just out at his table, and he was the first shirt that I ever got at PPW. Let's just put that out there.
Apparently it's bad for heels to be selling merchandise. I don't know if the face is like that too much.
I don't mind it. That's the thing. I tend to root for the heels all the time. But no, I think I just met him and I was like, hey, you seem like you're a cool dude. So, and ever since then, I've been rooting for Mr. RUDA. I'm team RUDA all the way. And if RUDA's a championship material guy or Mecca. I'm rooting for them too. Like, it's fine.
Hey, there you go. Mecca, we got to get a title around his waist, though. We got it. He had hands on it. We won it.
I want a flag. I want the flag that says Team Mecca and just like hang it like right up here.
No, we need
for you. Sabrina versus everybody.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Well, Sabrina versus everybody. Like, there's a lot of people that could like break me in half. So like, let's just. Yeah.
You got the perfect background for it.
Yeah.
I know. I have LED lights. I just refuse to actually turn them on for any kind of podcast. Because like at night, I like to just sit here in the completely dark and just have like red, green, some kind of color on this thing podcast.
But they're there.
They're there.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't use them very often.
Oh, there's a kitty cat. Oh.
Yeah, my dogs are locked out of the bedroom right now. So
I have two, and they're both right here, and they absolutely hate each other. So if you hear cats arguing, you know why.
So you're just not. It's not you arguing with your cats.
No.
Normally, when she's not on one.
Yeah. But okay, so let's just start with, let's say, who or what got you into like the wrestling business?
I can literally remember like it was yesterday when I had that. It was my dad came over. It was had to been a summertime. I was 7 years old, and he gave me a VHS of SummerSlam 1990. The main event was Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude in a steel cage. It was awesome. I just remember popping it on, instantly falling in love. Seeing guys like Jake the Snake Roberts. I ended up having 2 pet snakes, and both of them are on my forearms here. I just loved, Jimmy Hart, Bobby Heenan, all the managers. And clearly here I am doing exactly following in their footsteps. But like that main event, I remember watching that and just thinking, like, this is the coolest stuff ever. But you guys know where we live. Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, tiny, Bumble F kind of place. It's small, like we wanted to go, and it took us 45 minutes to an hour just to get to Wilkes-Barre, 40 minutes, an hour to get to Hershey. Those were the closest places for us. Maybe Scranton, the Catholic Youth Center. They used to have them there. So it was just out of reach. My parents were not fans of it. My dad, still to this day, not a fan of wrestling. So to take me there was a bit of a stretch. So I kind of grew up always a fan, just watching it, always watching it on TV. But it actually took I live in Atlantic City now. Long story short with that, career, lifestyle, I moved to New York City. And one thing led to another, a new job. I met a guy who was a wrestling promoter. And that's what got me into be doing what I am today. But it was always, I can remember looking down at the VHS, the yellow and black, lighting it out, seeing SummerSlam 1990 on it. Funny enough, I literally just watched it today. I had it on in the background while I was working to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing and what made me fall in love with it in the first place.
Yeah.
That was the event that sold me, for sure.
Yeah. WrestleMania is like a really big thing for like a lot of wrestlers as well. Like a lot of them keep bringing up WrestleMania, Undertaker, things like that. That seems like a real big thing for them.
Well, that's the thing. There's those moments in our life that are so monumental. Like you can, for that, I can remember, the carpet looking down. I remember sliding it up that I can taste the air. Those moments in wrestling life, like those WrestleMania moments. You remember how old you were. You remember what time it was. That's like as close to time traveling as you get. Those memories come back and get snapped right back in time to the moment. It's like a natural drug. If you're a wrestling fan, you get it. If you don't, you're really clueless.
Yeah.
Feeling and that vibe that we get from those ups and downs, those highs and lows.
Definitely.
It's addicting. It's absolutely why we do what we do and why we watch what we watch.
Yeah. So at that moment, were you like, okay, this is like what I want to do? Or was it at that moment you were just like, I'm a fan for now? And then, or did you get what I'm trying to say?
That's what you're saying. Yeah, no, it was the pipe dream, but to get into it, my sister, growing up, she wanted to be a biology major. We went to Disney, and the impactful moment as a kid was she wanted to be one of those people swimming with Shamu, right? Those big opportunity jobs that we see, dream of, that you want to do, but like the 1% of people get to do them. But not everybody gets to do it. Just because you want to do it doesn't mean you can do it. So I grew up with the mentality thinking, this is the coolest thing in the world, but like too small. I live in the middle of nowhere. I have no access to this stuff. I'm never gonna get involved, so I'll be a lifetime fan. And I never really, my wildest dreams, saw myself in the ring doing it to the extent that I'm doing it right now. You know, like I literally just got to work a show with Nunzio, who's a guy I used to watch on, you know, WWE, ECW.
Mm-hmm.
So it really, but I also understand life throws you opportunities and you either act on them or you don't. And if you don't say yes, you don't on something, you might miss it and never get that opportunity again. And I had an opportunity to do what I was doing for work, which was life insurance at the time. And the only I had to a wrestling show was to be at a table vendor at a show making child IDs for children at the shows as a way to talk to their parents about, life insurance or college funding or anything. And being at that show allowed me to talk to a promoter that allowed me to pitch an idea of a character of who I am. And next thing you know, I was in the ring training. I was at the shows performing. So, I mean, it definitely wasn't anything I ever saw myself doing, but the second I saw an opening to do it, just had to jump on it. It was do or die. You're either going to do it or you're not.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen you live. Did you always want to be like the heel manager, like the one that's like, okay, yes.
That's hard. Yes. Yeah. Like, I mean, even like Hulk Hogan back in the day, I liked him, but like Hacksaw Jim Duggan was more for me the all Hogan. I get it. You want your heroes, you want your good guys. To me, it was like, guys, stop chirping. The badasses, the bad guys, they made it exciting, they made it fun. And I mean, to just have fun pissing people off, I guess to do it in a scenario where I can't get hurt, I can't get, legitimately under somebody's skin, I can't actually hurt somebody's feelings. It's all acting, it's all fun. You get to be another side of yourself that you're not, or maybe you want to be and you can't be. You get to blur the lines. They just have fun with it. So
Now, do you ever like find yourself like cause I would do it if I was a manager, like I would find myself breaking character. Like, do you ever find yourself breaking character by accident?
one time. That one time. But no, it's usually actually no, it just happened another time. I heard one of the guys call out championship material in our crowd. But I think because I've done acting in the past too. So for me, when I do it, like when I walk out that curtain for the movies I've done, when they call action, it's reality. Like I'm not acting at that point. If I'm out there, that is the real scenario. Those guys, a body slam is a legit way to hurt somebody. Leg drop will really take off somebody's head. Cheating is a necessary aspect to actually winning. It's not something that we've pre-scripted and talked about. Like to me, that is reality out there. When you see me sweating profusely, I don't want to dial it down. Like I want that to be real and as just heartfelt as I can because I don't want to break character. I want it to come across as natural as possible, and I want people to feel the emotion that they see from me. Like I don't know if you guys got onto it when we did our big match, the gauntlet match, and Joey got hurt on the outside. I was looking at people in the crowd to literally like connect with like my watery eyes, like the look of cluelessness, hopelessness. I didn't want a doofy like. I didn't want to be the over the top gimmicky person. I wanted people like if they were looking at me to say, "Oh shit, he's actually hurt." Like, doesn't look real.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know?
Yeah.
Was that the month that I wasn't there?
I think it was. Yeah. I don't think you were there, but I remember it was me and my one friend. We were sitting front row, and me and her were like talking. She was like, "Do you think he's really hurt?" I'm like, "He looks really hurt." She goes,
"Right at you." I made sure I made eye contact with you.
Yeah, and then she was like, "I don't think he's hurt." I'm like, I don't know. He actually like, and then he got up. He's like, and I was like, I knew it. I freaking knew it. And then she's like, no, you didn't. You thought he was really injured. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I like the over the top acting. That's what pro wrestling is. But I also want to make sure I bring like the sense of reality to it. Like that famous quote, "It's still real to me, damn it." You know, like I love it. I'm sure that it's as real for the fans too as it is for, as real as I make it feel.
Yeah.
Well, and it's crazy too because like I've seen managers like through other companies, and no one like puts like the acting and like the thing like I've seen you do. Like I've seen actors like managers be like, there it is, like that, and not really like kind of connect to like rooting for their person in the ring. Like I was just at Smash this Sunday, and the one manager was just like, oh, like not really like engaging with the crowd, like not really doing anything, and I was just like, that the crowd wants to see like the manager really getting into it and like arguing with the crowd. Like that's what we look forward to. So when I'm so used to you talking back to me and the others, because you talked back to a lot of everybody at PPW, it's like we look forward to that. So when you go somewhere else and someone's not doing it, you're like, this isn't fun. Like this isn't entertaining.
That's
So
like,
I don't know. You bring like a genuine thing to it. That's what I'm trying to say.
like my
Yeah.
favorite thing is definitely the interactions, like the wrestlers or manager, whatever, with the fans. Like that's my big thing. I absolutely love that. And then when they don't do it, it's like, do you cheer for them? Do you like what is happening?
What about when someone that you like to cheer for, like me, because something I've been doing for some people, and I love catching it off guard. Every time I come out, some people want to do a quick fist pump, right? So a couple times I've clearly gotten in the face of people I know that like to cheer for me, go for the fist pump, and when they go for it, I've been reversing it, giving the middle finger right in their face. So for me to you guys as a fan, let's say someone that you like to cheer for as a heel does that and blatantly insults you in your face, flips you off in the middle finger. What do you do? Do you start booing them? Do you keep cheering them? How do you respond?
I honestly, because like this happened last month.
Next show.
this this happened last month. I think it was like I was booing Jimmy, and he was like, screw it. Like he was like going in. I was like, okay, listen. And like I said, I'll still root for you, but you're an asshole. Like that's how I look at it. I will still root for the asshole because I love. I'm telling you, the heels are my favorite part of the show. I cannot root for a baby face. Like I feel like they're just like, yeah, we strong men. No, I like the ones that piss the crowd off.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for me, that's how I deal with it. Harley, do you want to respond back?
Oh yeah, my dad was just like, "That is so mean, Ruda. LOL. Next time I'm gonna throw cream pie at you."
Dang.
Oh my god, no, that's just like.
There.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just like, I don't know how. If I was in that, I'd just be like, I'd probably still cheer for you because that's how it is. Like with Rembrandt and Cosmic, they're heel. They hate everyone. Well, they don't hate them, but people hate them, and everyone's booing them. And then sometimes they're cheering them, and I'm just there like, you boo them at one show, and then the next show you like them. That's why I'm like, that's so weird. Like especially
roller coaster of emotions. Depends on what they're doing too.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I will tell you, Harley freaking was like saying, Serena, stop. Because literally for your match, I was like, go, Ruda. She's like, Serena, stop it. No.
No,
Bad.
like,
Yeah, you can't.
Freaking death. I was like, oh my god.
I told you, I root for the heels. I don't care. I will let everybody around me be mad at me because I'm rooting for the bad guy. I don't care.
Oh my god. That is like, especially go ahead.
The Barclays Center for a Monday Night Raw. It was when Sting debuted. They brought Sting in. It was the very first night he was on Raw. Might have been before that, but it might have been that show. But I remember New Day was in the New Day Sucks era where they were heels. They weren't the baby faces. And me and my buddy were like two people, maybe of four people in the entire Barclays Arena that were cheering New Day rocks while everybody else is chanting New Day sucks. And what freaking happens a couple of years later? The world is chanting New Day rocks. And me and the select few are chanting New Day sucks. They
Yeah.
flipped on us. We had them when they were hot, though.
Yeah, that is definitely how it is though at PPW. Like me and Sabrina will be cheering for the heels, and the people in the crowds will be like, "What are you doing?" Like, especially at the last show, I was cheering for like Rembrandt and you guys, and then all the crowd was like looking at me like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm crazy, and that's okay."
The red hair, the red and pink.
Yeah.
I'd rather, like I said, like I don't know. There's something about the heels. It's like I like to piss people off in my day-to-day life. So like seeing the heel
Good
like
to know.
piss people off, like oh, why not? I will root for the heels any day. Like
Who's your favorite heel right now in the wrestling world?
Like as a manager or as a wrestler?
Favorite heel?
Man,
oh God.
I love to say championship material, but like Rembrandt, I'd have to say they're both equal.
I will say
Championship heel. He just doesn't have a belt right now, but he was a champion.
Yeah. Well, they're like a tag team, so
yeah.
Joey and Vinny, they're like right here, and then I'm having a brain fart now, and Rembrandt's like right there with them.
Yep.
See, I'm more of like a Richard Holiday heel person. I don't know. He's just like he's such a dick. Like if you were his manager, y'all would be like the perfect pair because like y'all are like he's a dick, you could be a dick in the ring. Like it'd be like boom, everyone would hate your guts.
You might have missed that. We worked the show together. I was like our third show I was there. He tagged. It was either a tag team or a 6-man tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I only started going in April.
Yep.
So I missed it.
It's a little over a year now. It's crazy. Time's flying.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like we had the return show in I think 21 in June, I'm pretty sure, and now we're already like almost at the end of freaking 2022. That's crazy.
How long have you been a fan of PPW, Brandy, Harley?
Since they were in Hazleton, so probably like 2015 maybe.
Okay.
So awfully a long time.
So you were watching the show, and then obviously the shutdown.
Yeah.
Back to the return. So how's it been like pre-pandemic compared to post-pandemic?
I say I think honestly it got a lot better. But like there's some like talent that's not there anymore. So obviously I'm like, oh, I miss them. But like the new venue is great and a lot more fans, a lot more space. It's like I think it's better. But
I remember Office sent me a picture of the performance center, like the day they asked him to start doing something with it. And he took a picture of the big open space, the grass on the ground. It was like, bro, look at what we got.
yeah.
And like images and the ideas and everything were just coming there to see what he's done with it. With Tony, EW has turned it into literally in a year.
Yeah.
Wait to see where they're at by next year, by the summertime even.
Yeah, the shutdown, like from COVID, affected I think a lot of people. Like they were so used to going to shows every single month, and then it just stopped for like a whole year. So then people, once we had that return show, everyone's like, "Yes, I'm going to be there." I remember that show; it was so packed, it was so hot, but it was amazing. I was so excited when they announced. I was like, "Oh my god, the return!" I was freaking like dying.
Greatest fans I've ever been in front of. PPW has like the best fans on the indie scene. Period. It can be such a small crowd, or like that 600-person crowd we had for the anniversary show last year. You guys were always hot, always loud.
Yeah, it's a lot at wrestling. Like there's so much going on. It's great though.
Okay.
So go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. It's crazy because like I didn't know PPW was a thing until SPF because I've known SPF. So I was doing the math today. I've known them since I was 14, not 16. So I've known them longer than I thought I did. But like they got me back into wrestling. So I was like, I don't want to be part of the wrestling industry anymore. Like I had like, I'm not gonna put it on the pod, but like there's a past that I had in wrestling. I was like, I'm gonna step away. And now I got back into it. And PPW just is like that little. It's like a family, like we said in the other podcast. It's like a family reunion every time I come back every month. It's like you see people, you catch up with them, and like if you miss 1 month, boy, do you hear about it, right, Harley? You wanna?
Yeah.
Catching up on your life for the past 2 months.
Exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my god. When Sabrina's not there, I'll be like, oh my god, this just happened, or this just happened. She's like,
Yeah, like
okay.
the month that I missed, she was like texting me. She's like, "This just happened. Oh my god!" And I was like, "Wish I could be there. I'm sick." Like,
Yeah.
Or working.
Yeah.
I'm always working, always working. Literally, I said to Harley this week, I said, "Listen, I was it Monday that I texted you, and I was like, I am not feeling good. My allergies are acting up." And she was like, "If you can't do the pod this week, it's okay." I was like, "No, I am forcing myself to do the pod because Ruda's going to be on and I cannot miss
Yeah.
it."
She's like, no.
So am I feeling a little crappy? Yeah, but I'm still here.
So on the topic of question, who's breaking into the-
I think that's Sabrina. It's not me.
Wait, what happened?
Do you hear that noise?
Yeah, it's someone's car alarm outside is going off.
It's not yours or anything. No one's breaking into it.
I hope not.
Someone just breaks in.
No, it's not mine. I just
Wait, someone my car, right?
it's not mine.
We're about to have some crazy shit happen on this podcast.
No, it stopped. Wait, what was the question?
So was who in PPW do I recruit? Who do you want to flip and maybe switch to the dark side?
Oh God.
Who you want to good baby faces?
Oh.
I don't know.
Who do I put on my
Oh. I don't know, man.
girl? I got Joey and Vinny. I've got the back.
Wait.
God. To me, the biggest like plot twist would be like Nolan or Trevor, like because they're not really new, but like they're new to PPW a little bit. And if you were, I would be like, I'd be shocked if you came out with them. I'd be like, what the hell?
I don't think he would be a good fit for Trevor Nolan.
Or do I turn them against each
Oh,
other?
You know who I think oh my God. You know who I think you would turn against each other really well is Johnny Moran and Tom Mitchell.
oh my god, I can see that.
But who would go heel on that?
I want to see Tom Mitchell be the heel. He's such a baby face. I would love to see him be like, boom, and like just like be like such a dick. I want to see that so badly.
Baby face Tom.
I don't know.
That's
I don't think because like I don't think Trevor could turn heel ever.
Kage easily.
You think so?
Nolan Pierce. Nolan Pierce. Trevor Kage. I can see dark.
Listen, go for it. I mean,
just go for it. It's all right.
I wouldn't root for him either way because like I don't think that he would be good heel. But and like I told him this many times, so this is not like something that's gonna come out and he'd be like, "What did you say about me?" No, it's literally I told him many times like I could not see him as a heel. Yeah, no, I could see Andretti turning into a heel real fast.
Andretti, that's an idea. I like the sound of that.
I don't know. I mean, he'd probably be a good heel, but I can't see him as heel.
Andretti?
Yeah.
I could totally. That guy has got arrogance and cockiness out to wazoo.
Oh yeah,
Rightfully so and backed up. I could totally see him going heel.
Well, I don't. That's maybe. I haven't had like full on. I've never actually had a
I
conversation
have.
with him. Unlike you guys probably have. I've cheered for him, yes, but I've never actually like went over and talked to him. I'll be like hi or whatever, but
I definitely have. Everyone knows that one.
yeah.
Everyone.
You guys are giving me some ideas, some good ideas.
Plot
You know
twist.
who I would love to see come to the dark side?
Who?
Encore.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I
Let
will
me-
freaking, like pee my pants.
Dark thing. Let me flip it on its head.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
That-
my gosh.
I think that might be the.
Who were we talking to? It was Rembrandt, right? About the whole. Oh, Rembrandt said if he ever had like the chance to go for like a championship belt, because I was talking about like, yeah, I just want to walk someone down. Rembrandt goes, listen, if I ever go for a championship belt, you can walk me down. Like, yeah, but I don't know if I could actually pull off the heel. I can't be a Ruda, you
What if
know?
having you replace
What?
Rembrandt? You're gonna escort Rembrandt.
And Cosmic. Rembrandt and Cosmic. Didn't he say that? He was like Rembrandt and him.
Probably,
And Cosmic.
probably. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
I don't
think
know. I can't pull off the heel. Like I feel like I'm more of a babyface than a heel. I feel like if I was a heel, well, I'm a heel every day in my life. So let's just, yeah. Well,
Pink hair, everybody get your pom poms out there.
let's go.
You got it. You nailed it. And then my boy roll up the tights, and you got around.
Sabrina, like, she only, like, during the whole show, she'll be, like, cheering, but it won't be loud until you come out. She'll be, like, screaming. I'm like, girl, I'm going to be deaf. Calm down. But no, I'm like, if you're going to be a manager, you definitely got to put in that, like, you got to scream. You got to be like, let's do it, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. But Sabrina, especially for you, she's like, yes, Mr. Food. I'm like, girl, I'm going to lose my hearing. If that's how I sound, I'm like, oh, my God, I am now sorry.
No, it's because, like, I don't know. Man, Ruda's attitude when he comes to the ring is just so exciting. So it's like, he comes in, he's like, he has his nose up like he's better than everyone else and this and that. So, of course, I'm over here like, yeah, you go. Like, I'm all about confidence. And Ruda has a lot of freaking confidence. So you have to just go along with it.
Confidence, cockiness, arrogance, whatever you want to call it, but you need it. You need a lot of it. Otherwise, the crowd's going to eat you up. You don't want that.
I think I relate to Ruda. This is why I like Ruda, because I relate. I'm a little cocky and arrogant sometimes. Like, I'm like, yeah, I know I look great. Like, I know today I don't. But, like, other days I'm like, yeah, I know I look great. I don't really care if anybody hates my outfit. You gotta have it. And I think that's why I like Ruda so much, because I relate to him so much.
Yeah.
See, but I want to push the border, too, because I want people to like me. I want people to like me. I want more booze in the crowd, right? But at the same time, if I'm going to be a heel, I can't have fans. I don't want people cheering for me.
Yeah.
Too bad.
You guys
Sorry.
are credibility cheering for me.
Yeah, the crowd will be booing you, and then Sabrina will be like, oh, look at that little happy man. I'll be like,
Look at that little happy man.
As long as we're winning. Otherwise, I'm trying off in the ring. That shit sucks.
My thing is, like, your facial reactions when, like, Joey or Vinny gets, like, slapped real hard. Your face.
oh my God, we love it.
I started dying of laughter because you're just like, ooh, ow.
And then you like jump up. Oh my God, that's like so funny to me. Like when you jump with it, I'm like, oh my God, this man.
Oh, like when I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know how I do it. I trained a little bit of ring. I've taken jobs before and from big, like, 2, 3 airport. Not out performing fight before those like those off.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that pops in my mind. Go take nothing.
Yeah, no. Just your reactions. I think the crowd loves your reactions to this.
Gotta get something to fight out there. So you're making my right.
We love some Ruda hat.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't even know he had hats.
They're all sold out now. I gotta get a new supply of them.
Yep.
I feel a little left out over here. Yo, okay, first of all, no, because I am clearly a good fan this time.
I think, yeah. You're probably his number one fan. Maybe.
I don't know about that. I can't give it that. No, I know I got bigger fans out there.
No, if y'all ever hear me at PPW shows, which you do, I root for one. I root for one person, usually really loud, and that's Andretti. The other people I will root really loud for, but the most like I'll get really like up in my volume is Andretti.
See?
Yeah.
I have both of his shirts. Like I have his pictures of 8x10. Like I like that is a fan right there. However, it's also cost money to get these shirts. So it's like, do I want to spend my money today? No.
Boom. See?
Oh my gosh. So my dad in the chat, he was like, "How did it feel to cut a promo at Rhea Ripley?"
That was fun. That was, I mean, you mentioned before the end, really, like that was when I was at I was with the in motion work out so well towards or it didn't work. And then evolved the company around having a seminar in Brooklyn. And I went to the seminar at Cole, hosting the seminar. That great, had no idea. And I got to be a part, long story short, of Evolve. So we had shows that we went to, and they had me, instead of performing, working with Maria, with Champa, with Lee. It was awesome. First night that we were in Brooklyn, I was working with went great. Next night we're in Massachusetts, Boston, and I was working with Rhea. So my best friend Jeremy, Rolana, like world loves her. I'm working with Rhea out of the blue, and I'm like, oh. So I send a selfie of the two of us. He's like, got a promo with her.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's
Let me ask, So when we got a break, and I asked, got a promo for Dr. Ron, what I promo and for him. I'm by the throat, but you could take it. When she came in, she grabbed me right by. It was. Look back on the moment, like, still feel her home, living, remember. It was probably one of this moment. I look dead. Like, gonna kill me right now. And crazy thing, look back on that. Your idolize. Open. People pay money. Work with. Sure, we're gonna charge you for it. I mean, I got. It was one of those. I'll die. Incredible, definitely awesome.
No, yeah, I remember I think it was on my phone. I don't know what I was doing, but I seen the video. I was like, oh my god, is that Mr. Ruda? And I'm like, it's probably not him. And then I just scrolled past it, and then I was watching TV with my dad the other day, and it came on the TV. I was like, is that Mr. Ruda? And my dad's like, yeah, that's Mr. Ruda. I'm like, oh my god. I was like having a heart attack. I was like, no way. And then that's when I
that with her? That clip with her came on?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was like on YouTube or something. I was like, oh my god. I was like dying. That's when I messaged you. I was like, is this you?
So that was when I was with Evolve. I was telling you, felt like I was not getting to that point where I could in the ring at moments, promoter also opportunity promo. So I was platform moment from that event with Rita, with Champa, with Cole. I felt like I was making an connection, right company, right spot. and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
Oh man, and it just literally got me dead on my track. Like, like I had a chance at it out so well, and then that was where I thought my confidence crashed down at COVID. But I'm also a firm believer that we always the right time, we always hope at the right time. I look back at a lot of guys from Evolve that had that crack, had NXT, they had one year and then got, I could have very well got a month. It might not have been the right. Still think something that sticks. My brother said, my family, they don't get the appreciation. Not their, but he actually said one time, you're almost, like, you still want to be, and I don't even get insulted by like that. The first in that picture is Paul Heyman. The guy's like well in his 60s, kicking ass. The guy's in his prime. Look at a lot of the best business. They're in their 40s, they're in their 50s, they're in their 60s. Also, that's I forget what we were talking about.
Yeah. Sabrina, do you have any questions?
Question.
Oh God, I don't know. It's so funny because we go into these podcasts with so many questions, and I said to her the other day because we were talking about it. We're like, for a manager, what questions do we ask? And I was
No,
like, I don't know. I said based on RUDA, I said we'll probably go on tangents of some sort. And I said so, and that's what we've been doing. But my question that I asked Harley that I wanted to ask you is did you always want to be a manager, or did you want to be a wrestler?
Fair. Let's feel it. I feel like we crafted much, have their own fears. Don't do that. Like, afraid of failing, right? And that might not even be a lot of people, those thoughts. And too much of what others of actually start believing. All I wasn't big enough for it like that. So in my mind, I grew up thinking it wasn't even a possibility. Like, never going to get in there because look at these guys. They're huge. They're jacked. And Rey Mysterio, in essence, makes me look small. And Rey Mysterio is a tiny guy compared to the guys that he wrestles with. So in my mind, it was always like cool stuff, but nothing to do. I was always athletic, but never a peak performer, so to me, it wasn't anything that I thought I'm going to be this badass wrestler. But the older I got in my business environment from school and public speaking and acting, the movies I was in, more and more looking at wrestling and watching, it was like some of the greatest people on camera aren't performers. Like you look at a guy like Paul Heyman, you look at a guy like Jim Cornette, you look at, any of the greatest managers in the business today. I could go on forever naming them. And some of them get more attention and have more fans than the wrestlers doing 360s off the ropes or 450s or whatever you call them, like doing moonsaults off the top rope. So I thought, I don't have to be a big jacked guy to do this. Be that little instigator in the suit, flat out pissing people off and having those giants back me up. And from my experience, I got to be very close with Gene Snitsky, with Offa, some people in his family, and that's where I really made sure that I could make the biggest impact for me in the indies was having big guys and big names like that, where I could walk in and, like, to give you an idea, when I first started, our shows were in Spanish Harlem in New York City, right? And here comes tatted up Mr. White Guy in the heat of Harlem there in the heavy Spanish area. And the promoter goes, "We need to do something that gets these people to hate you immediately. Like when you get in that ring, you got to tell him that you're Trump's biggest supporter. He's your best friend. You are pro Trump." And I'm thinking like I could sell that gig. So literally I came out there, and the second I screamed Trump's name and put my hands up, instant heat. So like it was an easy way to just draw a lot of hate from people, and then that's where I got the rest of the character from. I had a guy, his name was Beal. He's probably about 5 times my size. I come out, I spat out at the mouth. The guy would back me up, and I could guy John Tella that I worked with, Alpha. They're always even like championship material. Like I think that would be a reflection of my life when I was younger. Smart mouth teen. I always had the bigger friends to back me up. My buddy Jeremy and Dave, some of my best friends, they were always bigger. I was like, Ruda, if anyone's got a problem with you, you make sure they got to settle it with us first before they get to you. So I've kind of taken that mentality, that mindset, that picture, and that's what I've, put it in and transferred it into the wrestling world.
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah, I was even saying, I was like, I want to know, like, did he ever think about, like, hey, I want to be a wrestler? Because, like, I mean, for me, I mean, I've told a lot of people this, but I was like, I wouldn't want to be a wrestler. Like, I'd rather just be like this little showgirl that like walks them down. Like, I didn't know because like, and I'm glad that you explained that. So that was great. I'm
I
glad.
trained. I thought if I could, why not? I had 2 matches before. One that it was literally just one-on-one, me and this one guy, Dante. Two one-on-one matches I've had. And I tell you what, like as a heel, it's me just getting whooped around the whole time. I'm taking the bumps, I'm taking the heat. The one match off of saved my ass, dumped my lifeless top of the guy for the 1, 2, 3. So I know how to get in there and do it to a basic extent. To say I know how to do pro wrestling is far from it. I can take a bump. I know how to sell. What those guys do at that level, people need to understand not only how hard it is. Like I'm 7 years old, right? Up until I start and get in the ring training, maybe at 32, 33. And that's literally all I do. Live, breathe, eat, sleep, and watch wrestling. And to get in that ring, think, now what do I do? Like, what's next? Like you watch it, and like when you're watching the show, you're watching the matches go on. You can know exactly what's going on. You know what's going to come next, and you can call a match from watching it on TV. And oh, here comes the setup. This guy's going to win. This is going to happen. We can call setups and matches like reading the script. But when you're training in there, and you got to think about what you're doing and process it, and actually be aware of everything you're doing, it is not easy. Like, and those matches I did take 2 or 3 bumps, and next thing, now what the hell comes next? I still got like 5 minutes left in this match, and I don't remember what's coming up next. Figure out what's next. It is not easy. Those guys, what they do at that level, it doesn't matter where you are, just to do it, period. I would prefer to be on the outside, on the ring apron, cheering and acting on the outside than being on the inside. Those guys deserve a lot of credit for what they do. Personally, as much as I would want to do it, I would never want to do it because it's dangerous and it's for sure.
You should get like a little cheerleader costume.
Yeah, maybe one of these days.
Yeah, like I don't know. But usually, like with the wrestlers, we like fly through the questions, and we still have like 6 questions to ask you.
What else?
Okay, so for me, I would say, what do you wish to accomplish before like you retire?
Oh, I want to be contracted with a company. Period. I don't care if it's Impact Wrestling, if it's WWE, if it's AEW, MLW, you name it. Evolve was probably the greatest and coolest experience for me. It was as close as I felt like I could get. Um, it's really cool to see that Gabe Sapolsky, the guy that he started Ring of Honor, he was the promoter for Evolve. He worked on NXT for a long period of time, right during the pandemic. He left and kind of like retired from pro wrestling and the pro wrestling industry scene. And I did a one-on-one seminar with him and even asked him, like, you see yourself ever getting back into it? And he was a pretty emphatic, no, I'm done. It was a great experience. And never fucking say never. The guy got brought back in. He's on NXT now. He just got contracted back. So it's cool to see him in there. So, I feel like through what I've been doing, the wrestlers I work with, I think of something Paul Heyman said, and Paul Heyman is who Paul Heyman is, and he still treats every single show, every single performance as if it's day one and he's still training for a spot. So I make sure that I put on that kind of a performance, that kind of impression with anybody I work with, because it only takes one person, from Gabe to anybody in AEW, MLW, WWE, anywhere, to just say, you know what, that person would be great with this manager. And next thing you know, you get a call. It literally is that easy. So Gabe told me before the pandemic, just keep getting out there and keep getting your reps. PPW is like the absolute greatest platform to do it. I feel like it's got so much potential, especially where we are. So I pray to God that one of those opportunities leads to something down the road. But yeah, if you want to know what my goal would be, my goal is WrestleMania 40, walking down the entranceway in Lincoln Financial Field with somebody, preferably my best friend Ashley D'Amboise. We joke about that all the time. But that's WrestleMania 40 in the link. That's the goal right now.
Yeah, oh my god. I would probably me and Sabrina, I would be calling Sabrina, I'd be like, oh my god, did you see that? She'd be like, Mr. Ruda, and she'd be peeing her pants and I'll be freaking dying. I'll oh my god, that'd be so funny.
You know what's crazy is the dynamic of me and Harley though, we'll be at these shows and we I think we really noticed it this past time when freaking that big 16-man tag, the tag team match, a huge tag team match. People would be flying, and me and her would look at each other going, "Ooh, did you see that? That's gonna hurt." Ooh, we are those fans that will look at each other before we even are "Ooh, are they okay?" And we'll be "Ooh, that's gonna leave a mark." So yeah, of course, if we saw him, we'd be like, "Yo, did you see him? Yeah, look at him shutting himself down the freaking ramp. Look at him. Oh my god."
I'm praying for it. It's open to anybody. Anybody that wants that opportunity can get it. You just got to go for it. You can't quit. You can't stop. Again, a lot of negative people in life. Don't ever buy negativity or the doubt of anybody else. I was told when, the movie that I made with Gene Snitsky and with Alpha, 100 Acres of Hell, I remember when it was an idea. It was a concept. We didn't even have the script out yet, and talking to someone about it. And they were like, yeah, you think that's really going to happen? You think that's really possible? And then what? And you fast forward, it took 10 years for us to put everything together, everybody in place, to get that movie in place and actually, get released. It was bought out by the independent side of Indican Films. So Indican Films basically owns our movie. I think the rights end out this year. Regardless, as a kid, I always wanted to do a horror movie. I always wanted to do WWE or pro wrestling. And not only am I in pro wrestling, I made a horror movie with pro wrestlers that I grew up watching. So if you want to do it, if I say WrestleMania is the goal, if any of these other wrestlers you have on this show say that's the goal, as long as you don't quit, I'm a confident, firm believer. It's literally just a matter of time. But the second you give up, the second you believe somebody else's bullshit or doubt that it can't happen, you're counting yourself out. So I'd never believe anybody that ever told me it was a long shot, wasn't possible. It's literally a matter of time. And if it's 1, 2, or 3 years or 5, it's happening.
Yeah, no, that was going to lead into my next question. It says, if you had to be a manager for someone on AEW or WWE, what company would you choose? So you basically answered that already. But who, if you could work with anyone, who would that person be? It could be on AEW, Impact, whatever.
PPW, if you had to choose another person.
No, I think my absolute dream, be on anywhere from Monday Night Raw to WrestleMania with me and somebody else cutting a promo on Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. And if I could have the ideal situation, it would be the swerve where Brock Lesnar turned around, picked up Paul Heyman, F5'd him, said, "Get out of the ring, you old piece of crap. I'm taking RUDA." That would be, to me, the epic dream come true.
No, if that would happen, I would probably literally call Sabrina the minute that happens. I'll be like, oh my god, and like crying hysterically while laughing. I'll be like, oh my god, Sabrina, did you see that? She'll be like, look at that little happy man. I'm like, he
Look
ain't.
at a little happy man. Now, you know what's funny is like Harley picks on me every podcast. But I don't watch WWE as often as I should.
Yeah, you're dependency. You don't really watch the pro shows that much, right?
Yeah, no, I watch a lot of AEW, which is like why one of my favorite wrestlers right now there is Cole Carter. Like, I have my favorites, but like I don't sit here and watch WWE. It's not my thing. But like, I'm slowly getting back into it. But no, if you were on it, I'd definitely be like, oh, look at him coming all down.
The real dream come true. Again, you guys, I don't know if you're familiar with that. A good friend of mine. We lived together in Brooklyn. I wrestling. She started training and just took off. And she's on AEW Dark a lot. She's been backstage at SummerSlam. I mean, I would take working with her over anybody from Adam Cole to Brock Lesnar to Chris Jericho. That's the true dream come true, to be able to look back like where you started, your friends, like where it all began, to have those two separate paths merge together and to, like, be on NXT walking out with her. That to me is a hell of a lot better than a WrestleMania moment. Just to be reunited with a friend in the main scene stream, I think would be just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no, that'd be big. No matter where it is, like me and Sabrina would be like, oh my god, look at this man. And she'll be like, she'll be having a whole fan moment over here. I'm like, that's Mr. Ruda.
I'd be having like that proud mom moment with Ruda. I'd be like, oh my god, look how far he got. Like, I'm so proud of him.
My dad says, I can see you being a manager for Judgment Day.
You know what? If there was a crowd, I don't know if I'm dark enough for Judgment Day. I like the people in there. Rhea, I'd definitely reunite with Rhea in a heartbeat. But if I get together with the crew, with a crowd of guys, it would definitely be the Undisputed Era. 100%. I could totally see myself as like the Eric Bischoff and the NWO to those guys.
Yeah. So, what would you say your dream match is? Like, whether just to see it, like two people wrestling, or like you as their manager? It could really be any match.
Man, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think of who out there today. I mean, are we talking about like fantasy people that have already passed? Are we talking about performers in their prime day?
It can be anything.
You know what would be really awesome? Would be, man, I got to get my geek hat on and think about all the different scenarios or opportunities that are out there. It would be really cool. I mean, to that point, if there was the Samoan dynasty is huge right now, right? You have Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns, with the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and then they got Sami Zayn. Literally redhead of the Samoan dynasty, right? And I've worked with Alpha. There's a whole other slew of Samoans out there. I think that would be, if I could see a dream scenario coming up, would be to get Alpha and Lance and a couple other Anawahis in the Indies, creating our own little Samoan dynasty, bringing that to WWE, challenging Paul Heyman and his boys in the Samoan dynasty. And you got the two dynasties with the honorary uses on the side. I could see that at a Survivor Series match. And obviously, Paul Heyman, as great as he is, he might give you a spoiler. I'd give you a guarantee we'd win that one.
Yeah.
That would be it. That's like thinking right.
Yeah.
Look at you coming up with these like big like scenarios.
Yeah.
I had to think about that one, but that would definitely be an epic moment. I mean, that's pro. Like growing up, my very, very first tag team I legitimately fell in love with was the Head Shrinkers. You know, and that was just Rikishi on one, Samu on the other side, and then Sam, he was the killer in our movie in 100 Acres of Hell. The guy played Jet Tucker. So here I am, 7, 8 years old, a huge fan of the Head Shrinkers. 20 plus, 25 years later, one half of the Head Shrinkers is crushing me with a freaking tree. I think that is pretty unreal to think about it.
Yeah, no. What would you say is like the hardest part about the wrestling
Industry.
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Industry.
I mean, they say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And if something was easy, it wouldn't be worth doing. You know, things are hard because not everybody wants to do it. Taking bumps in the ring, wrestling a match, that's hard. Performing in front of a lot of people is hard. Cutting a promo and remembering what the hell you want to say when people are screaming at you when you can't keep your concentration, that's hard. Getting bookings can be tough and hard too. Getting consistent bookings that are close that you don't have to drive 5, 7, 10 hours to. It's another thing. I think really the just being out there. I mean, for me, like I was talking to Sabrina today. She's like, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, "Nerves have died a long time ago." I mean, like for me again, you learn to if you were in a situation where you're nervous, if you walk into that and you're like, "Oh shit, like I've never been so nervous," you're screwed. Like you're literally self-paralyzing yourself before you even start. So I learned to associate those feelings. They're not nerves, they're not hurting me. It's excitement. I'm like, I'm ready for this, you know? So I remember my very first promo, second promo with PPW. When I look back at them, I was losing my spot. I was forgetting what I was saying. I could see where I was trying to cover my steps and pick up where I thought I left off. But you know, you learn to shake it and you gotta keep your mindset on where you are, stay focused on what's going on, not let anything get in your way or stop you. Because the second you do, you're dead. You know, if I were to freeze up on that microphone and I have 20 people, 50 people, 5,000 people screaming, "You suck," and for a half a second, I'm thinking, "What the hell did I get out of here to get myself into?" Like you could clam up, start crying, and crumble like a lot of people that to me it's nothing, right? But there's individuals out there that when they ask it, I'm like, no, it's not a big deal. And they're like, I wouldn't even be able to step through that curtain because they feel all the eyes and people watching you and judging you. And I think that's the hardest part. I think when you love it as much as you do, whether you're a wrestler, a manager, just a flat out performer, if you're stage fright, it will cripple you. But if you can take that energy that you're getting from everybody in that crowd and channel it as something that's positive and moving you forward, it's nothing that's going to stop you and make it hard. It actually makes it easier to the point where no matter how many people are yelling at you, you suck. It's like Kurt Angle. He like relishes in it. Like people chant his theme song, "You suck," and you're never going to make the guy, crack a frown over it. It's stuff that fuels you and motivates you if you use it the right way.
Yeah, and then it's funny. It's like I'll go back to you in the ring. It's like it's people will be saying like you suck, you suck, you suck, and the word like just the way you come back at them is so funny because like you don't let it bring you down. Obviously, 'cause it's like it's what you have to do, but it's just the way you clap back. It's clever things come out of that come out because I'm like, did he just say your mother? Like what? Your mother taught you well. That's what he said this last time. He said something about like, oh, your mother taught you very well. And I was like, I didn't even hear what the person said. All I heard was that. And I was like, what? Like
I looked at the mother. I was like, you need to work on your parenting skills.
that's what it was. Yeah, I was like, whoa, okay, Ruda. But no, like I mean, it's it's interesting, and this is something that Harley and I never thought. Like we never looked at it from like your point of view. We always see like the wrestler's point of view and like how they feel when they're about to go out and like when someone's doing them, but like you're literally standing on the outside of the ring constantly getting like that backlash from people because you're right there, and it's so interesting to see like your point of view now, because it's like, yeah, the wrestlers are like they're doing their thing, they can kind of tone it out, but like you're over here like, yeah, I engage in it.
Oh
Sometimes
yeah,
I don't, sometimes I do.
we are at Joey here. They're like, "Yo, crack his head in, like fuck him up." I turn around, it's like, that's really mean. Like, why would you say that to somebody? Like, I'm not gonna yell at him and like be the dirtbag being like, "You're ugly," la 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 la. No, I want to make you feel guilty and make you feel terrible for what you just said, you low life scumbag. You think I'm a bad guy? Did you hear the crap that just came out of your mouth? Screw you. I'm not the bad guy. You're the bad guy. And I will. I mean, I made a little girl look at like she questioned her whole like reality after she was like busting my chops. I can't remember what I said to her, but she was looking at me like, I'm never gonna say that again. Like, you should feel bad, little piece of crap. I would never say that to you. You know, why are you so mean to me? So I try to flip it. If you're gonna be coming at me, you make me feel like the bad guy. I'm gonna make you feel like the bad guy.
Sad part is, I would, Harley, I don't know if you can agree, but like I would just give it back to you, like, because that's just how I am. So like you come at me saying, "Oh, that's not very nice." I'm like, okay, and your point is like,
But see, I think there's a fine line. There's people that have to like yell at Vinny, which I would never ever do. Then again, I'm 5'5", 135 pounds. He's like probably almost 6 foot tall and jacked. He'll take people's hats off their head and throw them. Things like that you can do to intentionally get under people's skin, but I've seen in the indies that's where people jump the guardrail and deck you, which is fine. That's gonna happen, you know. We're all about making memories, right? But I think like the true art is being able to get under somebody's skin and really piss them off and really make them feel bad without doing anything mean and hurtful at all. It's just the simple words, you know. You're gonna give it back to me, like you said. I'm gonna clap right back to you, but I'm gonna make you feel bad about what you just said, and that's why me, you know, for like being the condescending Karen, you know, ringside. I'll make you feel bad.
No, that's great. I used to be the same way. Like when they were in Hazleton, when PPW was in Hazleton, I absolutely used to hate like every heel wrestler. I used to hate like with my whole life. I hated Rembrandt and Cosmic, and then I'm like, they're not that bad of people. Yeah, I literally
What,
booed that.
belt or something? Someone give you? They're like you. You're like the biggest fan.
So like in Hazleton, I was like, oh my god, these wrestlers are just terrible. And now I'm like their biggest fan. And then at the one show, they actually gave me like the woman's belt, like once they got the new one, and I was like,
Remember that?
oh my god, about to have a whole like crying attack.
I mean, that's a big moment. You're literally getting a piece of PPW history from a wrestler that you are a true fan of. I mean, I think that's what's like so special too about the indies. Like your birthday is in February-ish, right?
Yeah,
What date?
the 22nd.
I'm the 18th. And when I remember coming in that month in February, we were like, "You want a cupcake?" And it was like, it was like a split second. I'm like, I had a look and I saw, oh, she's celebrating her birthday here. For a second, I'm like, why is she giving me a? How does she know? You know. But then it like that instant thought was, as a kid, I would have never, ever had that moment of a birthday party at an independent wrestling show. I never even got to go to them. I think I went to like one show in my entire childhood. I literally had to drive to Worcester, Massachusetts from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania for my first Monday Night Raw. But like to see you having a birthday party at the show, the last one we were just at, these kids had a birthday party at, and you're in there with these wrestlers where people are paying to go see Monday Night Raw, AEW. They're paying $100 for some bullshit seats where they can barely see it. And here we're paying $20. You're ringside. You're engaging with not only just the wrestlers, but they're giving you a championship belt that was literally fucking used on the show. I remember looking at that and seeing that moment happen. It was like, this is incredible. This is incredible. And for you to be on the receiving end of that, not only do you have to be special to them and to the company, to be on the receiving end is like the respect on like what as a fan from the wrestling community. It was just like I knew that you were something and someone so special to that show and to the wrestlers. It's huge. That doesn't like you don't see that happen at all, if ever, really. It's rare. So that's what I love about what we do in this whole community. It's so freaking special. You
No,
saw the room?
yeah, it's literally over there too, and oh my god, it is like every day I look at it, I'm like, oh my god. It always like kind of makes me teary eyed. I'm like, I must have like I mean a lot to them. Like,
Yeah.
it makes me want to cry every single time. Like the day I got it, I was like, are you guys being for real? Like I was like, oh my god, they're just pranking me. And then they're like, no, like you can legit have this. I'm like, oh my god, so many like female stars actually held this. Like Mercedes Martinez, Ali Rex, like so many. And I was like, oh my god.
Mercedes Martinez, it's so funny that you mentioned her name. It's crazy. She is so crazy can lead to. There was a night that she was supposed to be staying at a hotel in Philly. It was after one of the PPW shows because she had a match in Atlantic City, literally right down the street from where I live. And that night, it was John Moxley versus Nick Gage for the GCW championship. Some crazy shit to watch. But I was supposed to drive her back to her hotel, drop her off there, and then she had someone taking her to Atlantic City the next day. The hotel was not good. I got asthma. The hotel room smelled like someone just like smoked a pack of cigarettes in there. She ended up coming back. I took her back to my house here. She stayed in my house here. And the next morning, we're sitting in my living room watching the John Moxley Nick Gage match together. And like I'm sitting here thinking, like, what has my life become? That she's sitting here, and we're watching pro wrestling like death matches together. But I had no idea that she held the PPW championship. I had no idea. That's so crazy.
Yeah, no, like when I got it, I was like, it was like so real. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my research. Like I've been to the show, so I know a couple of them that held it. But when I seen her hold it, I was like, oh my god.
That's insane. I had no idea. And she's the Ring of Honor Women's champion right now.
Yeah, it's just she's like the sweetest person ever. And I think they gave me that when she was actually there. And I was like, oh my god, this is yeah, I'm pretty sure she was there. I was just like, I was running everywhere, showing everyone. I was like, oh my god, look at this. And then they were like, you deserve it. I'm like, I was crying.
That's awesome. Memory.
Yeah, that's why wrestling is like my go-to. I absolutely love it.
Harley, weren't we talking about this year? Like, because that's so weird. All of our birthdays are in February. Now that I'm thinking of it. Mine's the 9th.
9th.
And it's funny because Harley and I are talking. And we're like, screw it. This year, why don't we just do something on PPW together? Like, because now that I'm back in the wrestling, like that's where I want to spend my time. Like that's where I want to spend like my birthday. Like I don't want to go out. Like I've done the strippers. Like I've done drinking. Like I want to go see wrestling. And so now we're talking about it. We're like, yeah, we'll just like celebrate our birthday this year at PPW. It's fine.
No, yeah, it's wrestling's done.
What were you saying?
I think wrestling like leaves a big impact definitely on like a lot of people's lives. So it's like, let's go to a wrestling show or let's do this. It's a lot and I love it.
It's fun. Get to see, I mean, again, like that's have you gone to many like pro wrestling shows like Raw, SmackDown, anything like that?
I've went to probably like maybe in my whole life, probably like 5 or 6, but not like I prefer the indies.
I was gonna say, so you know the complete vibe.
Yeah.
like it's that you can't even compare them. They're not even in the same conversation. It's definitely not oranges to oranges. It's apples to oranges. They're completely different.
Yeah, no, like I like Raw or SmackDown, which I'm actually going to Raw next month because they're going to be in Wilkes-Barre. But it's like the last time I went, it was in, I think it was in May of this year. It was like SmackDown, and it was like so different because like the wrestlers don't interact that much with the fans. You can cheer for them. They're not going to show you the attention. You know what I mean? It's definitely different.
It's definitely more personal. It's funny that you mentioned the family factor too with PPW. Like it literally does feel like a freaking family reunion every time you go back there. Other shows that I performed at, been to, anything, definitely that. I mean, it's like that in the back with the wrestlers. It's crazy. Every show you go to, it's such a massive community, but such a small, tight. It's a reunion every time, no matter where you go. But the fans at PPW, I mean, literally is like an extended family. It's a great.
Yeah,
No,
it's crazy because Harley and I, like, that's how Harley and I met. Like, she sat next to me once,
Oh yeah, you guys
and
crushing
we,
it.
in- yeah, we instantly clicked. And it's funny because, like, now people just like, I'll walk in and people just like know me, and I'm just like, oh, interesting. Okay, like they'll come up and talk to me like, hey, like you're back, and I'm like, yeah. I don't know half those people that say something to me, but like,
yeah. Like so many people will be talking. They'll be like when I go into the wrestling show, like I know the wrestlers, blah blah blah. But then fans will be like, "Hi," and I'm like, "I don't really know you, but hi," because I'm just a nice person.
the first thing Harley said to me was, "Hey, do you mind if I put my massive posters by your chair?" And I was like, "No, I don't really care." And then that was the show that I was wearing Ashley Andretti's shirt, wasn't it? And you gave me a poster because he was there, and that was like the highlight. And now, well, now I just don't wear any wrestling shirts to these shows because
The rep where it's that's how you rep your what are you gonna wear? Something that says Gap across your shirt? Come on, man. You got the right material on it. Bet that's made out of championship material.
I had that one, and I was gonna wear that one, but I was like, no, because like Vinny and like thing aren't on today. But no, that one is like the only shirt that actually fits me well because it's a youth size.
I got,
RUDA.
when I got those, yeah, they were all. It was like I have to wear like large for it to fit nice. I'm not used to that.
Oh my god. Well, that will lead into my last question for me. Just do you sell any merch? We pretty much went over that. You do. But where can people find you? Shows, Instagram, whatever.
I perform for New Evolution Wrestling, for Colossal Championship Wrestling, and obviously for PPW, Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling. Instagram, it's I think Mr. Ruda 218. Favorite numbers, my birthday, see it everywhere. Instagram, the handle's Mr. Ruda 218. Not sure what my Twitter handle is, but if you just search Ruda, you'll see me with the shades on, the bald head, the Pitbull look-alike. Instagram, the one that I use. I have Twitter. I don't use it a lot, if at all. Instagram's the place to be.
Okay.
Well, this episode definitely went longer than I thought it was.
Good. It's all right though.
But
Yeah.
it's okay, because like literally, how many times do we go, well, we don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah.
But this one just like kept flowing, and I
Yeah.
liked it.
No, yeah, definitely.
A lot of fun. Who's the next person you got?
Kakoa is tomorrow.
And then after, I think we're trying to get, well, no, after we have Nolan
Then
Pierce.
Mitchell.
And then after that, we're trying to have Bro. And I think we have Cosmic on that week.
Adina.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure Cosmic's on that week.
I don't know. You sent me the calendar, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
Adina,
Um,
I don't know what it is. Her makeup that she wears when she performs seems so simplistic, but when she has none of her makeup on, I feel like she looks like a completely different person. It's like the weirdest thing. It's not full face makeup. It's a couple highlights of places. Every time I see her on Facebook with no makeup, I'm like, I have to like, it's the tattoos that get me.
I saw her at Smash and this weekend, and she had a full face of makeup, like
Oh yeah,
white thing. And I honestly, she looked so different because like I'm so used to like the simple stuff like this. When she came out like that, I was like, wow, like she does look different. I've seen her without makeup too. I'm like, whoa, okay, different. I like it though. Like so, yeah, no, it's crazy.
you guys are gonna have fun. You got some good guests coming up. Nobody as great as Mr. Ruda, but number 3. So there's got me anyway. So thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No, yeah. Thanks for
I
coming
mean,
on.
if it makes you feel any better, the other two we've had like Harley went out for Trevor's, like her computer kept crashing. For
Yeah.
Rembrandt, I kept getting phone calls in the middle. This one we had no technical difficulties.
It always works when you roll with me.
Amazing. Yeah, definitely. Oh my god. My dad's like, we gotta get Joe Davis.
Yes, absolutely. That was a lot.
You know who's been on our butt about coming on is Paul Bowe.
Yeah.
He would be. You got a lot of great people that you've named. Paul would be your best. I think definitely would have an.
No, that's definitely funny because when he like under our Facebook, he texted, he's like, how come I haven't been able to get on or something like that? He's like, I'll be your best guest on there. I'm like, oh, okay. Then we'll try to get you on.
Definitely get Paul Bowe on. I want to know that date.
Definitely.
Well, it's funny because like Harley is in charge of our Facebook because like, I was like, I don't do Facebook, I don't do that kind of stuff. I was like, so you can just be in charge of the Facebook. I mean, when she told me this, I was like, I don't. Maybe one day.
No, but this was definitely a fun episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, I had fun.
I had a blast. It was worth the time.
Yeah. Well, that's all for me. So, Ruda, you have any more questions?
I don't have any more questions.
Well, then, guess we're going to wrap it up.
Why is it being so awkward? It's not that awkward. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining our live today. Join us tomorrow at 5.
Yep.
Okay. 5 for we're gonna be with Keikoa.
Yay!
That's so exciting. All right. Bye, guys.